Just did that on LA out of principle. So here's a 9-hour week of Tony Khan programming version. And so this was my ROH. Oh, so to clarify to the video what Josiah is looking at, just you can keep doing what you do. I've done this multiple times over. I did it before Jay Briscoe passed away. I've done it over and over. I just feel like Tony Khan's collective wrestling contracts are so vast that he could divide his rosters up multiple ways. And so there was one version, the one he's going over right now, where there were 9 hours a week of Tony Khan wrestling programming, and I named Ring of Honor's TV show ROH Ignition and had a whole roster. I divided Rampage and Dynamite into separate rosters. Oh, I forgot about this. This is a whole other concept based on something Jim Ross said, but we'll go over that after the video. So this doesn't need to be here. But I even came up with pay-per-view schedules, all kinds of stuff. But the thing is, all of the stuff that he's looking at that I just went over, those are all out the window because we have a new AEW draft. Because I keep hearing Wrestling Observer and Matt Men podcast, they're talking about, oh, there's going to be a soft brand split. Oh, no, it's going to be more firm than soft. All these things. So what I did was I took the time and I created a version of Dynamite where I'm the general manager and I pick my roster. I created a roster where Josiah's got himself a Rampage. So the current speculation is there will be a 2-hour Saturday show called Collision. I don't like it. I don't think Capital Collision is magnificent, which was a New Japan show, and there are other collisions out there where I've never just thought, oh, that's a great name. But you know what I do think is a good name? Rampage. You know what I think is a good time? 6:05 Saturday night. Give Rampage 2 hours, starting at 6:05 Saturday night. That way we pay homage back to the past. And what it does is it gives equal time to Wednesday's Dynamite and to Saturday's Rampage. And once we're done drafting my Dynamite and his Rampage, you will see that there are people left, but there's purpose behind it. And after we're done with that, we'll break it down, who remains and where they go. Because Wednesday comes first, before we even go over our draft picks, I'll break down the logic behind where the champions fall. So, the wrestling shows stay on the same television station. So on Dynamite, will maintain the TBS champion due to the fact that the show remains on TBS. So I get Jade Cargill. Josiah's Rampage remains on TNT, so he gets
Powerhouse Hot.
Oh yeah, I mean I'm jealous of that one, but it is what it is. It's just good logical sense. And speaking of things that logically make sense, due to the fact that I got the TBS champion and championship, I will also get the men's world champion Maxwell Jacob Friedman. That means you get.
That means I get the women's world champion Jamie Hayter.
Again, great pickup. Absolutely. I mean, although all four great talents, love them all. So, the final championship distribution on my AEW Dynamite for Wednesday, I get the Trios champions, which are currently the House of Black, Malachi Black, Brody King, and Buddy Matthews. That pickup on my behalf means that Josiah gets
the tag team champions in FTR for the Revolution, baby, and the international champion Orange Cassidy.
Right, because I get 3 guys with straps, you get 3 guys with straps. It makes good sense.
The numbers make sense.
So my first pick for this AEW draft, again, because we got to keep in mind it all exists because of there being feuds within the company, feuds primarily revolving around
issues,
yes. revolving
Any
around
issues.
Mr. CM Punk. My first round pick is a trio of gentlemen, that being the EVPs of the company, the Elite, Kenny Omega, Nick Jackson, and Matt Jackson.
And that, of course, obviously makes my first pick CM Punk.
Again, just doing things that make good sense. And speaking of things that make sense, since Mr. Magnet is is over on the Rampage, I have picked up the Blackpool Combat Club, John Moxley, who Mr. Punk has had issue with, saying
very recently.
exactly saying that the first person who ever said he wouldn't lay down for me. So that means I also get Claudio Castagnoli, Bryan Danielson, and Wheeler Yuta.
Great pickups. So, of course, I had to counter that with a team that had just the same amount of energy, which, of course, is why I went for the Acclaim, baby.
Everybody loves him.
Anthony Bowens, and Daddy Ass himself. You love to see it.
Yeah, so my number 3 pick is bolstering that TBS title ranks, and that is Dr. Britt Baker, DMD.
And since, of course, we split up DMD and Hater, of course, we have to completely outnumber her, which is why I've picked up the Outcast. That's right. You got Tony Storm. You got Saraya. I believe I said her name right. And Ruby Soho.
Yeah, I mean, all great talents.
For sure.
If I was allowed to book it, I'd put one other person in that group, but, make that the Hulk Hogan to the outsiders, if you will. The big surprise. But, we're not going there. My number 4 pick. Another person who has perceived animosity or internet rumored animosity with Mr. Punk is Chris Jericho, due to Punk saying that he's a stooge. And so that means my number 4 pick is the entire Jericho Appreciation Society. That be Chris Jericho, Sammy Guevara, Anti Mello, Anna Jay, Jake Hager, 2.0 of
Matt Menard, Daddy Magic, and Cool Hand Angelo.
Exactly. Parker. And finally, that leaves Daniel Garcia.
Yep, I think that's all.
So that is my number 4 pick.
Got it. And then, of course, I just went with a guy who could beat all of them up by himself, Samoa Joe.
I love Samoa Joe, my goodness.
Love to see it.
Yeah, and also he has had great wars with CM Punk.
Absolutely.
Oh my goodness, that amazing trilogy. History. Yeah, amazing trilogy of title matches in Ring of Honor. But when you talk about Ring of Honor, an amazing Ring of Honor world champion, Adam Cole.
Baby!
Exactly, number 5.
And at this point, obviously, we have to go with a little past-future situation. So for my number 5, I picked Sting and Darby Allin.
That's a pair of good picks right there.
Thank you, good sir.
Yeah, I love Sting, and Darby is really coming into his own.
Absolutely.
But one thing that comes to mind immediately when I think of Darby Allin is the TNT title, the one that you have on your show and on your channel. But also something that comes to my mind when I think of the TNT Championship is Wardlow, which is my number 6 pick.
Big body. So, of course, Oz has had a lot of big money picks with a lot of bodies in it. So I had to do the same. So I've gone for the, what do they call themselves right now? The Mogul Embassy or something like that.
Yeah, Mogul Affiliates, Mogul Embassy.
Whatever the name is. Swerve, Brian Cage, Cone, and
Khan, yeah.
Khan.
Yes.
And Tolio. Sorry.
Oh, you're good. Yeah, no, Bishop Khan is a great talent. So there's this concept that's going to be introduced next month to the channel.
I forgot to throw him in there.
Absolutely, yeah. There's a concept being introduced to the channel next month. It was actually inspired by my affection for Seth Rollins versus Logan Paul at WrestleMania. And that's just a slight teaser. So there was something that Rollins inspired me to bring to the channel. But I'm going to get back to throwing out the picks. And up next is Taya Valkyrie, because she is currently enthralled in a feud with Jade Cargill, making it seem like she could be the one to end.
Finisher. No, it's my finisher.
So, she is number 7 and the 3rd pick up for my women's division.
Beautiful. Well, of course, I have these nice shiny tag straps, and so far I only have the Acclaim in the tag division.
And the FTR, yep.
Yep. So obviously you got to bolster that, and how do you do that? By adding the legends, the Hardy Boys, Matt and Jeff Hardy.
Well, if we're going to talk about the legends that are the Hardy Boys, let me just say that I can't get Adam Copeland, but I do get Christian Cage and Luchasaurus at number 8.
See, that's a good pull. That's a good pull.
I love that. There was some symmetry there.
Wasn't it beautiful? Next up, I also have Tag Team of the Future. Somebody who could really hang with Edge and Christian and the Dudleys and the Hardy Boys back in the day. I'm talking Top Flight. That's right. Dante and Darius, come on down to Rampage.
So I love that team. Had it not been for the catastrophic nature of that ladder match, I wanted them to win the straps. I mean, I'm pro Lucha Brothers. I'm glad they got it.
Lucha Brothers can win whatever titles they want.
But like in my mind, I was going for Top Flight just for, like you said, that future, that TLC-ness.
Get well so soon, Dante.
Absolutely. So my number 9 pick in this AEW draft is Keith Lee. I love this guy. I loved when he was a double champion on the NXT brand. I just think that he has all the tools to be the first ever black AEW World Champion. I've made the argument with Ahmed before that I think it might be more likely that Swerve wins first and then Lee takes it from him. I think
both of those are great.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think they're both top contenders.
For sure. Let's see here.
Number 9.
Are we on 9?
Yes, sir.
All right. So I got. Oh shoot, man! I make some great picks. So next up, you got Mark Briscoe, Jay Lethal, Jeff Jarrett, Satnam Singh.
I wish
they don't have a group name.
I was about to say, I wish this unit had a name. I'd almost thought about when doing the typing up the list. I thought about writing Dem Boys, but I was like, I better not. There's a certain connotation when it comes to that. Yeah. But
certain place your mind goes to immediately.
Exactly. But the fact is, it's a great unit. It's a lot of top talent there.
A lot of entertaining segments.
Oh my goodness. And actually, I'll wait till we get done with the countdown before I explain some of the changes that come to the shows. But my number 10 pick, a man that just made the cut, that is one of the hottest young second-generation wrestlers in the company, and that is Hook.
That's his kid.
Yes.
Love to see him. Well, of course, I have to go with the woman who's currently, at the time of recording, the Ring of Honor Women's Champion, legend of the game, always loved her. Still has one of my favorite finishers in this business.
I'm not a fan of its current name.
The O-Face?
I'm not a fan of its name, but I love the move.
I'm assuming it was called that because it was like, was the gimmick.
I hope
what you're probably thinking.
Yeah. So I hope you're right, because I'm so much better with that analysis than what my brain immediately went to.
Well, listen, Athena's a character. I think is the best
and the double entendre, I think. So yeah, I like
definitely adds credence.
You've made me more of a fan of it than I was originally.
There you go. But yes, we are talking about Athena.
Yes. My number 11 pick, sticking with the women's division, is one that is currently out injured, but
which one?
But she was hot when she was here, and she was out of this world. Chris Statlander.
Okay, yep. I was like, where is he going with this? Where is he going? There's a lot of injured women right now. Yes. I need to narrow it down. But yes, beautiful pick there with Chris Statlander. And you know me, I'm big on the future of pro wrestling, and I've already had
company too. I'll tell you,
absolutely. And since I already have one pillar, and Oz has 2 pillars, I figured I might as well even it out. So I'm picking up Jungle Boy Jack Perry for my number 11 pick.
I need your help with number 12.
All right.
So, number 12, I wrote LFI, but LFI really stands for
La Facción del Ingobernables.
Thank you. Although not the... Yes. Yeah, it's the De Japón that we didn't say, because it's not Japan.
Los Ingobernables.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Which is Andrade El Idolo, Roosh, and Preston Vance, which I would then subsequently also get their manager, Jose the assistant. I just didn't put managers in the picks because, in my mind, they just appear
They
with
just
their
show up,
clients. So, like in the case of Mark Sterling, he could show up on every show because he's like he's been basically the lawyer.
I'm about to say he's
the lawyer for every nefarious person.
pretty much like he's just gonna show up with Jade, MJF, and actually I think you have all of his clients on your show as of right now.
Okay, well, still, if
So
he
I
picks
just happened to work out.
if he decides to do some litigation for CM Punk when he takes the Elite down for kicking in the door, then he can show up on Rampage.
Beautiful.
You're number 12.
Are you also picking up Dralistico as well? With that LFI pick?
So what I did there were certain characters. There are certain talents that didn't show up on the roster pages, and it made me apprehensive about whether or not they were full-time signed. If Dralistico...
Apparently I found out Sky Blue just got signed. I thought she was signed for years.
Absolutely, and I totally understand that. There's another omission you'll see throughout, which is a member of the firm, Big Bill or W. Morrissey. He doesn't show up on our pulls because he's not on the roster. I don't know if he's a full-timer or he's not a full-timer. I'm not opposed to him. I think he does great work.
Did he get the graphic? That's the question.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't
well, if he did, I'll also pop it up right now.
if I can find it. But here's the other thing. What if somebody just made one?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so... but anyway, so there will be certain omissions that you'll see throughout the game because I'm just not sure.
Okay.
And he's one of them.
Fair enough. Let's see. You just finished 12?
Yes.
Okay. So next up, one of my favorite teams, the Butcher, the Blade, and the Bunny to really deck out that tag division and also my women's division.
Yeah.
So a little 2-for-1 there.
I like the trio.
Mm-hmm.
My only minor complaint is I prefer 2 named people.
Like having first and last. Okay,
yeah, so if he was Butcher, whatever his
Butcher Reed.
Yeah.
Or
whatever his real last name is, I don't know.
No idea.
And the same with, so I know the Blade as Braxton Sutter from...
I know him as Pepper Parks, so...
Exactly. So if he was Blade Parks or
Blade Souther.
Yeah.
Nah, that wouldn't work. So
Braxton Blade.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I would be happier. But whatever, it's neither here nor there. They're a great trio. That's the important thing.
Absolutely.
So my number 13 pick, I picked up out of an abundance of insecurity on my part.
Okay.
So you remember how I said that managers are a guarantee. It's just like they're here, right?
Pretty much.
We're here. But so I picked up for number 13 Julia Hart because I know so I know she's not a manager, so I can't just assume I've got her, right?
Yeah.
And yes, I picked up the trio to which she's a part of, but I was like, I want to ensure that I get her on my roster. So number 13, Julia Hart.
You know what? That's fair enough. I won't even argue with you on that. Great future talent. She had a solid match with Anna Jay a little while ago on Rampage. So of course, speaking with goofy stuff,
Yes.
I gotta pick the best friends. I feel like there's no reason.
When you have Orange Cassidy.
Yeah, I already have Orange too, so it makes sense.
Got to keep
On
that
top of
family
that,
together.
Yep, I love Chuck, I love Trent, and I love Danhausen. So bring them on down to Rampage. I think they'll be great fits there. Also, Mark Henry loves to see all 4 of them.
Really? That's good.
Yeah.
Oh, I love Mark Henry.
Yeah, big Mark.
So I'm assuming
I'm keeping Mark.
That's what I was gonna say. So I didn't distribute out commentators, but I assume you're keeping Mark because he loves that gimmick.
Yeah, about to say, literally, it's time for the main event.
Speaking of gimmicks, though,
yes.
Up next, I have one of the biggest gimmicks and the most fun gimmicks, in my opinion, under the Tony Khan umbrella of pro wrestling. That is Dalton Castle and the boys, Brandon and Brent Tate.
That is a great one.
They are my number 14 pick because as much as I love Ring of Honor, I do. And I think Tony Khan's Ring of Honor is entertaining and a great continuation of the legacy.
For sure.
I think that both Dalton Castle and the boys deserve that primetime TV. Exactly.
Absolutely. Man, I'm actually mad I didn't think of that. That was... Yeah, because I watched Dalton Castle when he became ROH World Champion. So I've been a fan of his for a long time.
Absolutely.
Great pick. Well, since I already got Butcher and the Blade and the Bunny, I might as well pick up their running mates Kip Sabian and Penelope Ford.
Absolutely.
I know everyone tends to forget this, but Kip Sabian won the first AEW match.
Ain't that crazy?
I will drive that into the ground because no one else seems to care.
Well, and I I did a video on the channel about reviving fallen factions, a new legacy, a new Four Horsemen, and I put Kip Sabian in my revived Four Horsemen.
Really?
Because I just thought he was a great talent. He has a sharp look. He fit.
He looks good.
Yeah, and if you remember there was this iteration where it was like there were as many women in the periphery of the Four Horsemen than there were men in the group, and so I think Kip and Penelope.
Ric Flair in the group.
Exactly.
I kind of feel like that was.
Yeah, it was a requirement.
It's kind of a requirement.
Yeah.
But yeah. I get what you.
And so I just thought
I take your
Penelope.
meaning.
I thought Penelope and Kip would have fit the motif absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, so my number 15 pick, and after this after we both knock out our 15, there are only 10 more for Dynamite and Rampage. My number 15 pick is Boom Boom Colt Cabana. Love that guy.
Yeah.
Met
That's
him,
smart considering what I got.
Met him at Remix Pro Wrestling. Such a good guy. Always enjoy seeing him. He's fun, and that's what I want in my pro wrestling is fun.
Well, since I have all these young guys, I feel like since ours is just going to be so fun, I need to have a little bit of experience.
Okay.
So that's why I'm going with the Doctor, Christopher Daniels.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Say legend of the business, 30 years this year.
I do think he hit it this year, yeah.
So big congrats to Chris, still going strong. Still having great matches. Him and Seidel had a great match with, I think, Aussie Open.
Yes.
Not too long ago.
Yeah, very recently on the Ring of Honor.
What about now? Aussie Open has all the belts.
Yes. But all the New Japan straps.
All the New Japan
exactly.
straps. Anyway.
The thing about Daniels is, and Colt for that matter, is they both bring that wealth of experience, but also that Ring of Honor tradition to both of the shows.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so my number 16 pick for AEW Dynamite is the first ever AEW Women's World Champion, that being Riho. And since she will not be able to recapture that title, because you have it, she can now pursue the TBS Championship over on my show.
Try to get the equivalent of the Grand Slam in women's wrestling for AEW. Yeah, well, I mean, if you're going to get the first world champion, I might as well get the second. So I'm picking Nyla Rose. Because I love Nyla.
That's very cool.
And you know what? Honest to God, I feel like some of Nyla's best work in the company has been on Rampage.
Okay.
Because that's where she had that goofy feud with Jade.
Well, here's my problem with Rampage. Is I don't know if I'm old or if the idea of primetime is so skewed because of the West Coast. But it's hard for me to stay up till 10 o'clock and then stay up till 11 o'clock watching a show. And that's why, to me, putting Rampage on at 6 to 7 and 7 to 8, so that 2 hour block, I'd watch Rampage all the time. Like, give me all the wrestling you want if you start that Some Gun at 6, because I'm there. But, yeah, anyway, I just struggle.
I have no problem watching it, but then again, I am a little... Couple years.
Yeah, I'd say probably more than a couple actually.
One or two. Yeah.
Oh, what's your current?
24.
24. Yeah. So you're more than a decade younger than me. So, but anyway, regardless, and the other thing is I go to work way earlier than you.
Yeah, it's also true.
So it's the getting up for the job, man. If I was working because in the past I used to do 3 to 11.
Oh, see,
obviously, staying up to 11, no problem, because I didn't have to get up early.
Right, exactly. Yeah,
but anyway, that's neither here nor there. Number 17 for AEW Dynamite is Lance Archer. And with that, I pick up
Jake the Snake. Lovely. Great pick. Well, naturally, I got to go with the natural. Dustin Rhodes.
I love it. So, number 18. This is a man who has held multiple TNT championships. And as far as what I said earlier about Swerve and Keith Lee, this man, for a period of time, I thought could have been the first AEW world champion of Scorpio Sky. Yes, you are correct.
My guy.
But, I mean, he had a great match with Jericho when he was world champion. Oh, my goodness.
Phenomenal. It made a believer out of me.
So I actually met Scorpio Sky when I lived out in California at an indie show. Yeah. I knew
Makes sense. Okay.
I knew him from, what was that dang show called? Wrestling Society X.
Oh,
And
okay, yeah.
and so I was like, oh man, this guy ain't gave up. I'm very proud of him. You know, I mean, not like he was asking me or anything, but like,
I know what you mean.
but it was like, oh wow, that's cool to see. You know, a guy still going, and then finally, finally got to that prime spot in both, just SCU and AEW. So.
Absolutely.
Who's your number 18, sir?
Well, my number 18 is a former NWA Women's World Champion, absolute legend of the game, still underappreciated to this day, might I add. It is Serena D.
So one of my favorite times in her career was when she was under the tutelage of your number one pick, CM Punk.
Mr. Chick Magnet.
Yes, exactly. Number 19. This is a guy I thought could have been bigger within the company and still might. That is Mr. Anthony Ogogo. And the time that I thought he could have been bigger is if he'd have defeated Mr. Cody Rhodes.
That would have definitely helped.
But, it is what it is.
Yeah, that was just a weird program. But anyway, my number 19 pick is, of course, the former Big Show, Mr. Paul White. As a wrestler, not as a commentator.
Absolutely. So, I'm going the opposite direction. So you went big, I'm going small. But hometown girl, Columbus, Ohio, Madison Rayne. I think it's Columbus.
She is.
I know it's somewhere Ohio.
No, she's from Columbus.
I thought so, yeah.
I think. Her and Bliss, I think, were the only wrestlers I've ever heard build from Columbus, Ohio. That I can remember.
Yes, I believe you're right. Yeah. But yeah, so I went the opposite direction. I went really small.
Yeah, itty bitty. Love it. All right, well, I guess I'll go right in the middle then. Between those two.
All right, what do you got?
I got my man Chris Daniels' tag team partner as of right now, Matt Sydal.
Okay, there you go. 21 for me is Red Velvet. Once again, another person that when I think of Cody Rhodes, I think of, well, that was a weird choice that we made. Randy Rhodes getting replaced in that Jade Cargill Shaq match, but Red Velvet is my number 21 pick.
To be fair to her, she really stepped up in that match.
Yeah, it's no knock on her. It was just, it was weird because it was all built around.
It was out of nowhere.
Yes.
But what was it? Brandy was pregnant at the
time? Yeah, she was pregnant. That's why.
No, she wasn't wrestling. Yeah. Good decision on whoever made that decision spot. So I'm not gonna lie, my 21 pick, I completely forgot she was on the roster until I looked it up. Sure enough, it is Paige Van Zandt.
Yes,
does have an AEW contract.
So the funny thing is, I was talking to Ahmed about this before I got off work, and he's like, I'm not sure that she's ever gonna wrestle again. I'm like, yeah, I mean, if she does, she's valuable because she's got A, noun value, and B, she's got that online following.
Yeah, definitely need the online following.
Nothing wrong with that. My 22 pick. So I got Red Velvet at 21. This time I got Blue Pants, Leva Bates.
Nice. Well, for my 22, you know me, I'm a big Wu-Tang fan. So when a man who is all about that Tiger style. Okay.
I know he's a big fan.
Great point. But no, I'm talking about the other man that's all about that Tiger style. My man, Lee Moriarty.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, gotta give the man some respect.
Yes. So, number 23 for me is it's a pick on a hope and a prayer. It's a guy that I hope comes back from injury because in the recent promotional material for AEW All Access, the reality show, Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole talk about what if we can't come back to wrestling because they were both out hurt.
Yeah.
And so my 23 pick is me hoping that Kyle O'Reilly has a speedy recovery and has a great future ahead of him. Yeah. Because I loved when he was ROH World Champion.
What is his injury?
I don't remember, to be honest. I just know he's out hurt.
Got it. I wanted to, because I could have sworn there was something about his neck.
I think you're right. I think his is neck because Cole's was head.
Yeah, okay.
So yeah, you're right. It is neck.
Something serious.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah. In both cases, it's like the brain ain't nothing.
Yeah, I'm about to say no.
Only thing holding it up.
Yeah, like listen, I understand you want to come back to wrestling, but please.
Only if you can. Yeah, exactly.
Yes, all right. Well, dope pick. I actually also selected an injured wrestler for my 23. It is Thunder Rosa.
Okay, yeah.
Which is great because her and Britt Baker don't like each other.
Oh, that's a good shout right there. I didn't even realize that they were separated, but see that's the lovely, beautiful thing about this in execution. So if there are issues, and let's say issues come up later, and that's the beauty of having a fictitious boss, right? In your case, I think Mark Henry would be perfect. He already loves Rampage. He's doing the mic.
He's already there every
He's
week,
already
so.
there. Just give it to him.
Yeah.
So I think that's the beautiful thing. The beautiful thing about having the fictitious boss is that my fake boss, let's call it Taz. Taz can negotiate with Mark Henry, and
I'd love to see that negotiation.
Yeah, and then so let's say that Punk gets in a fight with Matt Sydal.
Well, I digress.
Then Taz can negotiate for Matt Sydal and trade for my number 24 pick, Fuego del Sol.
Fuego! My guy. Big respect to Fuego. So, I don't know if I ever told you this story, but Fuego used to have like a backyard wrestling league that he put on YouTube all the time.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And I literally watched him in his backyard wrestling league before he like grew up and actually became a professional wrestler.
That's awesome.
So when I saw him on TV, I'm like, I know that guy.
That's super
I know
fun.
that. And then when he got the contract, I can't describe the elation I had.
Oh,
for him.
yeah,
I was so happy.
It's like he's your friend. Yeah,
Exactly.
It's like what I told Cole Cabana because of the art of wrestling.
Exactly.
So who you got in 24?
24, I got my man Aaron Solo. I think he has a bright future, and we can make something happen for him.
Awesome. So my last pick for AEW Dynamite is it's for funsies, and it's to sandwich 1 and 25 top to bottom is the Elite Brandon Cutler and Michael Nakazawa.
The Stooges.
Yes, the Stooges. There you go.
Beautiful stuff.
Who is your final pick for your AEW Rampage, my man?
Well, since I got Solo, I figured I might as well just get the rest of QTV since they're on the board. So I just went ahead and got QT Marshall and called it a day.
Perfection. So, before we go over the remaining people under Tony Khan's contract, you just toss that. There are a little bit of housekeeping that I want to put out here. So, if you think about the champions that we both got. So, I got the trios, the Men's World, and the TBS,
right,
which is collectively 5 champions. You also yourself got 5 champions. So, what I did was, I didn't want Ring of Honor, the 2-hour Thursday show, to have more champions than AEW, the primary show. So what I did was, I gave Katsuyori Shibata his dream match with Bryan Danielson, and then took his Pure Championship from him and rebranded it on AEW Dynamite as the AEW Pure Wrestling Championship.
Makes sense.
Now, the reason that to solve this final issue of getting the extra titles off of
I thought I was going to sneeze.
Ring of Honor, you're good. So what I did was I booked, if I could book, I would have Mark Henry book Mark Briscoe to get one final ROH television title match against Samoa Joe on his first episode of AEW Rampage, and then after Mark Briscoe wins, unknowingly getting help from Sanjay Dutt, Satnam Singh, Jeff Jarrett, and Jay Lethal. So it takes 5 men to defeat Samoa Joe, but Mark Briscoe doesn't realize that they cheated to help him win.
For sure.
Tony Khan gifts Mark Briscoe with the title that I had conceived of in a prior Alpha Entertainment Worldwide video, the Jay Briscoe Legacy Championship. And so that rebrands the ROH TV title to the AEW Jay Briscoe Legacy Championship, which is exclusive to Rampage.
Yeah.
And so that leaves Ring of Honor, the final Tony Khan product, with the AEW World Championship, the Women's Championship, the World Tag, and the World Trios Championships. The champions for this brand...
Not AEW.
Did I say AEW?
Yep.
I meant Ring of Honor. Ring of Honor World Champion, Ring of Honor Women's World Champion, Ring of Honor World Tag, and Ring of Honor World Trios Championships. So, the champions going into this new era of a split roster are Ring of Honor World Champion Eddie Kingston, defeating Claudio.
Cool.
Willow Nightingale, who defeated Athena, is the women's champion. Lucha Brothers retain, and the World Trios champions are the Trustbusters when Ari Daivari pays off both Prince Nana and Swerve to get the titles from the Embassy. So now Sonny Kiss, Slim J and Ari Daivari are the Ring of Honor Trios champions.
I'm all for it.
So, now that all of those pieces have been laid out, here are the remaining members of the Tony Khan wrestling world. I'm going to go first. So,
yeah, that's fine.
On Ring of Honor, under the Tony Khan banner, under this new era of a split, separated roster, where, again, it's good because if people have issues, we can then make trades. Let's say that the person running this show is Nigel McGuinness. I love it. That's perfect. So I was going to pick somebody else, but I love that pick even better. So it's Nigel McGuinness is running this show, and his first pick is God's favorite champion, the Redeemer, Miro. Because he's already had a great match with Eddie Kingston, and I want more, please.
Works for me. So second pick is the Bastard. I don't know if we can say that on YouTube.
Whatever, we're already way into this. People probably stopped watching.
Fair point. All right, the Bastard, Pac.
Up next is a team I'm calling Lineage, that being Brian Pillman Jr. and Brock Anderson.
Yeah, that's definitely a better name than the nothing they have
now? The nothing they have right now, yes.
Beautiful. Next up, my man, Ricky Starks.
Oh, Ricky Starks. Absolutely great talent.
Absolutely.
So, the next pick is Sky Blue.
Good pick. My next pick, the next pick.
Yeah, for Ring of Honor. We're on the same team now.
Yeah.
We're both. I'm Nigel and you're McGuinness.
Yeah, okay, it works out. Is Hikaru Shida.
I have Josh the Goods Woods.
Love that guy. I have Private Party. Mark and Isaiah when Mark's done being injured.
Of course. We're always just on the positive side, hoping people are good to go.
Yeah.
So I have Mercedes Martinez.
Ooh, good pick. I have legit Layla Hirsch, who I really miss and hope gets better.
She's also hurt right now, but great wrestler.
Is Mercedes hurt? Or is
she's also hurt, yeah.
Dang.
Like, this is basically
this is a rough day.
This is the freaking the emergency room.
I'm about to say this is the Skull and Bones crew.
So next up is a tag team that was recently world champions in AEW, but they're going to pursue the ROH World Championships against the Lucha Brothers, that being the Guns, Austin and Colton Gunn.
Love it. I got my man, former ROH World Champion, Bandito.
Oh, that's great. I'd love to have him here.
Love him.
The idea of him versus Kingston, yes, please.
Oh yeah, more.
Take
my money.
Yes. So Josiah got Lee Moriarty, but Nigel McGuinness got Lee Johnson.
That's excellent. Let's see. I got, of course, the what is the Excalibur every week? The Japanese phenomenon, Tenosuke Takeshita.
Yeah. That's another guy I could totally see being world champion.
Easily.
In this iteration.
I mean, technically, he has been world champion. DDT world champion.
Right. I mean, in this iteration of Ring of Honor.
Yeah, for sure.
So up next, I picked. This was one of the very cheating. One of the times that I cheated, I said, they're not on either of the roster pages. They're not on Ring of Honor, and they're not on AEW's roster page. But they recently re-emerged in Ring of Honor, and I want to watch The Righteous of Vincent and Dutch. And so I said, even though they're not officially pictured, I'm just gonna assume they're full timers.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm pretty sure they said at some point. Riccaboni said that they're back.
So, I hope so. Yeah,
so we're good. That's a good pick. Since you picked the Righteous, I might as well pick the people they're feuding with.
That makes good sense.
So
way to go, Nigel McGuinness.
I'm getting all 19 members of Dark Order. I'm sorry, it's 2023. All 4 members of Dark Order.
Right.
So Evil Uno, Stu Grayson, Alex Reynolds, and John Silver.
Yes. So I don't know what number we're on because I didn't number these ones, but this is the perfect 10 pick, that being Sean Spears.
Beautiful. And the next one is Yuka Sakazaki.
So I believe that this pick is still undefeated in the world of Tony Khan, and that being Abaddon. Unless you took on Jade Cargill.
She definitely lost.
Okay,
she wrestled Hikaru Shida and lost for the women's championship.
Oh, okay. Well, she's still got a really good record, is the point.
And I think she wrestled Britt Baker and lost as well.
Okay, you're right. Okay, but she's still got a really good record.
Yeah.
Abaddon is
her record is immaculate. Just those 2 matches, I think.
Yes.
I'm actually surprised I remember that, to be honest with you.
Yeah, no, it's
Which
nothing wrong
tells
with
me
it.
those matches stood out.
Yeah.
Good job, Evan.
Absolutely.
I actually think she's hurt too.
I think so. Basically, the Ring of Honor Women's Division is all on the shelf. It's like just join the shelf.
My God. Well, since we're already on a roll here, we also have Santana and Ortiz. Ortiz is fine, to my knowledge.
Yes.
Santana is very hurt.
I recently saw this thing. I don't know if it's true, but I hope it is. That Santana's contract came up within the last, I think, 3 to 4 months.
Okay.
But Tony Khan has still been paying him while he's out hurt because he got hurt in Blood and Guts.
I wouldn't surprise me.
And-
Dang, Blood and Guts was forever ago. He's been hurt.
Yeah, it's been almost 12 months.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been almost 12 months. So,
Dang, dude.
so you picked up a great tag team for this show.
Exactly.
But I'm picking up a guy who was a former member of a great tag team called the North. And,
Okay.
So this is all ego, Ethan Page.
That's crazy. I didn't know Josh Alexander Signs.
Right, yeah. That's what I just picking up his partner.
My man, all ego. Love to see it. Another guy I love to see, also great ring veteran. My man, A.R. Fox.
Yes, sir. Well, I'm glad he's here because he can really help out. Action Andretti.
All about that action. Love to see it. And, just for funsies, I don't even know if she's technically on the roster, but we decided to pick up Rebel.
Oh, so she is still on the...
Is she on the roster?
She's still on the AEW roster. She hasn't shown up on TV in a while, but yes, she is still
yeah, that makes
technically on the AEW roster.
Beautiful.
So, the reason that... one of the reasons why I let her stay in the talent pool is because she can use her experience to help Billy Starks. And neither one of them are hurt.
I love it.
Like, they might be the only people who can wrestle Will Nightingale.
Hold up. I'm really double checking her. I think Sheeta's fine, actually.
She is, yeah. And Sky Blue's good, too.
Sky Blue's good. Okay, we got 4 women's division wrestlers that can wrestle. Great stuff. All right, next up, we on the third?
Oh, I don't. Three to the bottom, yeah.
All right. So I got my man, old Tiny Knees, Tony Nese.
Tiny Knees, that's funny. Oh my goodness. So I picked up for Ring of Honor and Nigel McGuinness, I picked up Angelico, Serpentico, and Luthor.
S.A.P.
Yes.
S.A.P. I actually like that group for some reason.
Yeah. I think Angelico's a great talent.
Yeah, absolutely.
Serpentico's a great wrestler too. Luther's a little weird, but whatever.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I'm assuming, because the way it was explained was like he's a death match.
Mm-hmm. But he don't do that.
Which means that he did do that, and AEW is his vacation.
Yes, absolutely. Well, and he's friends with Chris Jericho.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's how I got there. Yeah. Makes sense for me.
Yeah.
Honestly, I can't blame him. I take a paycheck, too.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it.
Let's see. Next up, I got the former members of the Mogul affiliates, I'm assuming, since we're splitting them up.
Yeah.
Parker Bordeaux and Trench.
So what I was thinking was, both these guys are young in the business.
Very.
And they can come here and learn under A.R. Fox and all of the people that
Dark Order, who have
absolutely
decades of experience.
Tons and tons of that. And no offense to them, but Swerve has traded up because he traded 2 muscle-bound guys for 3 muscle-bound guys in Kalantoa and Cage.
And those other 3 muscle-bound guys are better in the ring.
100%.
Also, no offense.
Yes, exactly. I'm not saying Parker.
Again, these 2 can kill me.
Yes.
But that doesn't take away from the fact they're green as grass.
Exactly. You see this hat? That's how green they are. So, I'm just going to throw out my last 2. That is Nick Camarato and Peter Avalon.
Love them. And, of course, I got my man, Griff Garrison.
Yeah. Griff. To me, this version of Tony Khan's Wrestling World
Umbrella Triumvirate,
it would just be good for wrestling. It's good for. So let's say, for instance, we were going to Wembley Stadium. Hypothetically, we were doing this big show called, I don't know, All In, if you will.
Never heard of it, but all right. We'll roll with it.
And in this make-believe world where we're going to this 90,000 seat arena.
That all.
And we are putting on this big show. What if we had 3 2-hour weekly shows where you could build up talent? I mean, my goodness, that seems like a good idea.
And they can get the reps.
Oh my goodness, yes.
They can get better.
So check this out. So I pitched this idea to Josiah earlier today. I was like, at all in. In Wembley Stadium, I would love for us to have a different international champion. One that defeated Orange Cassidy and then refused to defend the title in America. That guy being Christian Cage.
The original Un-American? That's ridiculous.
Yes,
I
one of
can't
the
believe it.
original Un-Americans. You are correct, sir. I thought to myself, I was like, you know what I would love to see happen is for Christian Cage to, again, say that he won't defend the international title in America, and en route to Wembley Stadium to have the British Bulldogs' big boy son, Harry Smith, or if you want to
I
call
love
him,
how you put him as British Bulldogs, big boy son.
if you want to call him what he goes by in New Japan, which is Davey Boy Smith Jr., I don't care either which way, Harry Smith, Davey Boy Smith Jr., either way is fine. But have him be the man who challenges for the national championship against that Canadian stalwart, Christian Cage, and then have Harry Smith or Davey Boy Smith Jr., whatever you want to call him, have him go
Baby
over.
Bulldog.
Yeah, Baby Bulldog, exactly. Have him go over at Wembley Stadium with 90,000 people and just whatever it is. I don't know how many seats will be taken up.
Well, I know they reconstructed the stadium, so I don't know if it actually takes 90,000.
Well, and we don't know what the staging is going to be like, whatever.
that's
So,
also the point.
whatever
those numbers are.
Yeah, whatever the numbers are, it's fine. The point is, I just think that would be super poetic, is my point.
Yeah.
But what is poetic other than, or if not writing? And if we're talking about writing, we got to talk about the book that I wrote, that being Everlasting Survivors, Volume 1, all day long. This is the Jeff Hicks A cover. That is the Nick Crook B cover. Both books have the same back cover, so beautiful, and same interiors. There are additionally three. There are also three additional covers. That's what I was trying to say.
Words.
This is Jeff's new C cover, and this is February 31's E cover. Any of these can be found if you click the link in the description, which will take you to my Indiegogo campaign, which if you go there, you can get, like I said, any of the books. You can get Gamble Comics hats. You can get Everlasting Survivor shirts. You can get all kinds of good stuff. I would like to thank you for watching, and I would like to thank you for coming, my good man.
Always.
It was so fun, and I've been wanting to do this video for so long. It's just one of those things that's been on my mind. It feels right. And if Tony Khan, who is a stats man and he loves sports and he participates in sports, if he uses his understanding of trades and stats to use those things to get Taz and Mark Henry and Nigel McGuinness to use those that information to get the right picks and to change things when need to be changed, I think it'd be a super fun time. And so come back Monday for Monday Movie Mayhem. Tune in on Wednesday for the Wednesday Rewind, and on next Friday, me and Josiah will be back, and we're going to do Alpha Entertainment Worldwide. We're not quite to SummerSlam. We're past King of the Ring. It's time for No Mercy.
Later, guys.